praying toward Mecca. We're not Jewish folk praying toward a wailing wall. We are simply keeping the instructions found in the Bible. You can find this in Daniel, the 6th chapter. When Daniel was a slave in Babylon, like throughout America, he would face Jerusalem at least 3 times a day to offer up his prayers and supplication to the creator of heaven and earth. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Also, in pursuant to 1 Kings 8:54, it tells us to spread forth our hands. Also, 1 Timothy 2:8. The order of prayer also stipulates in 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, men are to uncover their heads when praying and prophesying, and women are to cover their heads when praying and prophesying. Everything done decently and in order. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, so we're going to start this off with Psalm, 101st Psalm. All praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
All praise.
And honor and glory of his only begotten, beloved Son. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Psalm 101. The Most High's permission. A Psalm of David. I will sing of mercy and judgment unto thee, O Yah, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Oh, when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before my eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A forward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that having high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Most High.
Hallelujah. Say
All praise, glory, and honor. Shabbat shalom, family. Hallelujah. Y'all think about old P.O. Cosby? What's going on with old P.O. Cosby?
yeah, Bill. Boy, the end of a boy.
Did you hear what Jake said?
Yeah, I did. I say gonna be chilling and quick pop.
So he said, Jake said, when he was found guilty,
He started cussing.
he blew all his undergarments. It sounded like a fall. Yeah.
Shabbat shalom. All right, what we got on the board today, I'm calling this eating to live, diet. I know y'all think I'm on some holistic health stuff because I'm into it, but we ain't even talking about food at all. When we talking about food, but not physical food, we finna talk about spiritual food and do you got a bad diet or not? Because we all know that wealth is health, right? So you can eat unhealthy spiritually, or you can eat healthy spiritually. So we're gonna get into that, but before we get into this lesson, do anybody got anything to talk about? Any questions, anything on your heart, mind, spirit, something new? Anybody?
Yeah.
Sister? What's up, sister?
This ain't on the topic, but it kind of is, and I'm not sure. I was reading, and I noticed in the Bible when you read, it seems like it's a lot of attacks on the firstborn of the Hebrews. But the very first killing in scripture man was Cain and Abel, which
Right.
he killed the second born.
Right.
And my question is that something that we should pay attention to as far as our spirits? You know,
What you
a lot of people now and, the Jenkins case, and, it's like the old,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The similitude of things hitting the firstborn of the children, the first child or the children, period. You know what I'm saying? But that is that's all part of the curses that we up under, and we is gonna hit on that a little taste though, but not in the way that you're thinking about though.
Okay,
but we gonna hit on it. We gonna hit on it though. Anybody else before we get started with this lesson? What's up, bro?
I've been eating marshmallows all my life, and I never knew that they had it's something that called gelatin. That's basically like pork.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I love you, Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah. It's what they not in the marshmallows. They in between the Rice Krispie treats that keep it together. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right. Rice Krispie got full of pork. Right, Rice Krispie treats got pork in it. That's what's keeping it together. Yeah, so yeah, we gotta keep up. We gotta stop eating that if y'all eating that. What's up, bro? Hold it down, y'all. Don't speak it up.
On Sundays, I minister. I go out into the churches and I minister the word. I'm going out to minister the truth. I don't minister the Christianity, the life of Jesus. I don't minister the truth. And so, the reason I've been in this spiritual warfare is because I feel like it's wrong for me to go into these churches on Sunday when I know that I'm Sabbath keeper. I keep Sabbath.
I mean, hold on, but is you going in to bring people up out of that building and to actually fellowship and have real church with them to give them truth because they not being getting truth?
Well, see, that's what I'm doing.
Then ain't nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? You going in and you waking people up just because, look, the day don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Sunday is the most high day too. We be acting like Sunday the devil day or something just because Sabbath is sanctified. So if you choose Sunday to worship your God and to go to them churches to bring them people up out of that building and to have church with them, then you doing a good job for the Lord. What you talking about? Oh, Yahoo. Yeah.
We didn't do Sundays, we did Wednesdays.
It don't matter if it's Sunday's good too though, bro. Any day of the week to praise your Lord is a good day. There's never not a bad time to praise your God and to wake people up consciously. You know what I'm saying? So just don't get stuck in the Babylonian perception of Sunday and church thinking. Just like people that fellowship on Sundays and they teaching 100% the Bible, and he call himself a pastor, he wear a suit and everything. We can't say he wrong for doing that. He's teaching 100% from the Bible. 100%. He even talking about the Sabbath day is Saturday. Just because they hold a fellowship on Sunday, where's the sin at in that? And how can we condemn that? You know what I'm saying? So we be thinking about it too, Babylonian wise. That's all it is. So hey, look, continue doing that and start bringing them down here. Start getting them hip to the lessons and all that.
I have been trying to fight and I don't know that. We get down into the word. We not saying the word.
Right.
So come on down.
Yeah, don't quit your spirits over different days of the week though. Don't do that, man. It ain't working. Anybody else before we get started? Sister in the back.
Okay. So last Sabbath, right before the ending prayer, an announcement was made about we're supposed to be getting our stuff together and we're gonna start continuing prayer on the Sabbath. So, one, the Sabbath is a feast day, like the brother has said, but two, I found two witnesses that say we still have to prepare everything on the sixth day.
You're supposed to. Jubilee.
Jubilee, the second chapter,
Yeah.
and Jubilee, the 50th.
The 50th chapter, yeah, that's correct.
But I'm just saying, I don't know where they came from or whose idea that was, but
I mean, that's
not a good look.
yeah. No, I feel you. You're supposed to prepare. You're supposed to try your hardest to keep the Shabbat. Yeah, but then we also got to remember too, doing the Lord work is work also. So we can work towards the Lord, and you know what I'm saying. For instance, if you get stuck on the road on the Sabbath, your husband better come get you. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, cooking on the Sabbath. No, I agree. So yeah, y'all heard that, right? We supposed to be preparing the day before. So if we need to get something cracking off, they need to be down here cooking the day before the Sabbath come in, which make all the sense in the world. That's scripture. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. So
Is it considered cooking if you leave it in the sun and just warm up?
no, not at all. Not at all. But what you cooking? What you finna cook out of that though?
Like, it's
It'll take a while for that fried
you know,
burger.
one of heat hot, but you don't plug it up and heat
Are
up.
you talking about just leave it warm?
Hot, yeah.
You yeah, do crock pots. Make it the night before and keep it warm. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with warming up your stuff either. That's like you saying you can't put nothing in the microwave on Sabbath. Like we can't be so technical when it comes to this, and we have to remember that the law is spiritual too. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't nothing wrong with doing good gratitudes for people on the Shabbat. But like she said though, cooking, you can avoid not cooking if you can cook the day before, so you shouldn't be cooking on the Shabbat day. Because you can cook, you had a whole day before prior to cook.
All the day of preparation.
Yeah. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready to get it in? All right, let's start it off in did you ask something, sis, before we get started? Anybody? All right, let's get it started. So look, we're gonna call this eat to live. Eating to live, what is your diet? You got a good diet, you got a bad diet. If you healthy in the truth, or is you unhealthy in this truth? And we already know that unhealthiness leads to what? Sickness and disease. So we're gonna talk about this in a metaphysical and a spiritual sense. I want to start it off in Exodus 16. We're gonna start this off in Exodus 16. Shabbat Shalom, Worldwide Assembly Online. How y'all doing, family?
We do it.
I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to the online.
You don't have anyone in that.
Hebrew, come up here and type, bro. All right, we in Exodus 16. We're gonna start at verse 1. Eating to live. We got a few more pages, and then we can go and get it started.
All right.
Let's get it done.
Exodus chapter 16, verse 1. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt.
Right.
And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness.
So look, at this particular time, remember they're coming out of bondage. They come in the Most High. The Most High used the sun to set them free. He parted the Red Sea, and then they left. Well, as soon as they get over to the other side, they start complaining. Guess what they was complaining about, though? Come on.
Verse 3. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots.
You see that? It's like, look, we wouldn't have died in bondage. At least we was eating good. You see that? But look, they not peeping that spiritual blessings had just went down. All types of miracles had to happen for them to even leave Egypt, which means house of bondage. So they not even thinking about all the spiritual miracles that went down. They worried about food though. Like he's not gonna have a miracle to feed y'all. He just did all types of magnificent power to get y'all out of bondage, and y'all worried about fleshly things. You see that? So at this point, do they have a bad diet? And I'm not talking about eating wise. I'm talking about spiritual wise. Because they thinking about eating meat when they just got all the spiritual meat in the world leaving them out of Egypt. Come on.
And when we had did eat bread to the full, for ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
You see that? Like, look, you done brought us out to kill all of us with hunger. So their mindset is on what? Flesh. Their mindset is not on spirit. Because if their mindset was on spirit, it was supposed to be hallelujah, hallelujah. We ain't in bondage no more. The Most High did this, the Most High did that, the Most High did this. Surely he can give us some pieces of bread. But they not thinking about that because they still stuck in what? They carnal thinking. See, this is a bad diet at this point. Come on, King.
Verse 4. Then said the Lord unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you.
You see that? Even after they complained, he said, look, I'm gonna do a miracle. I'm gonna rain bread from heaven. Huh? This the same person that parted the Red Sea, the same person that overthrew Pharaoh in the Red Sea. Remember, it was pitch darkness, Passover. Huh? All the firstborns of the Egyptians died. The dogs even dug the graves up of the other ones. So all these type of miracles is going on. The Most High been getting you through and through and through and through for many years. And then one thing happened in your life, and instead of thanking him, you go back to carnal thinking, complaining. Huh? That is a bad diet. We're gonna show you though. Come on.
And the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day. That I may prove them.
That he may what?
Prove them whether they will walk in my law or no.
Now peep this. I want y'all to peep the spiritual meaning of this. So not only was they giving in to their flesh, but the Most High said, look, I get it. Y'all been in bondage. You know, my people messed up. Y'all been messed up. As soon as y'all turned y'all back on God, y'all got Looney Tunes. He said, but look, I'm gonna make it rain. I'm gonna make it rain spiritual bread from heaven. But in order to get this bread, you gotta walk to go find it. Once you find it, you gotta labor and prepare it. So what was he teaching them? He was teaching them that they had to work for what? For food. You gotta work to eat. But he's trying to show them this in a spiritual sense, just like how you have to labor in the word to get the salvation of God. So you see what he's showing them? So the Most High have a thing where he show us something physically, but he actually teaching us something spiritually by it. Come on, King.
Verse 5. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily.
You see that? So if they prepare it, then it's gonna be twice as much, long as they prepare it. But if they don't prepare it, guess what? They ain't doing no eating. Now, if you actually get into the preparing of manna bread and all of that, man, that takes hours and hours. And think about it, yeah, your stomach touching your back, huh? You probably eating as you cooking. You see what I'm saying? So it shows you the significance of working to eat. And if you apply this to Christ in your life, are you doing that? Are you laboring in this truth? Huh? Or you out here working, or you want to stop by a fast food joint? That's the bad diet. You want the shortcut way to eat. Is you doing that? Or is you actually preparing this manna bread? You taking time to put the spices together. You take, even though you hungry as all hell, you actually preparing. That way when you do eat, it lasts longer. Y'all know McDonald's ain't fulfilling you that long. You eat that 4 hours later, you ready to eat again. Same thing with Satan, right? As soon as you fulfill that lust, you ready to fulfill another lust. Huh? So we got to get out of what Dan called microwave thinking, that quick food. Huh? Because spiritual food is not quick. You have to labor for it. You have to be patient. But when it comes, the nutrients that come from it, the spiritual nutrients that come from it, last you way longer than flesh pots. Come on.
Verse 6. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel at even, then ye shall know that the Lord hath brought you out of the land of Egypt. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Lord. For that he heareth your murmurings against the Lord. And what are we, that ye murmur against us?
Come on.
And Moses said, this shall be, when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. For that the Lord heareth your murmurings which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord.
You see that? So look, Moses like, y'all ain't mad at me and Aaron. Y'all mad at God. Huh? Y'all mad at God, the same God that brought y'all out of bondage. The same God when y'all walked around the wilderness for 40 odd years, your shoes never even got tired. Huh? Never even got a shoestring, never even got messed up. The soles of their feet. You see what I'm saying? So at this point, you can see that when you choose flesh, you forget about the Lord. Whenever you choose flesh, you forget about the Lord. Whenever you fall victim to your lust, you forget about who? The Lord. So you have to start putting God and his foods before what? Physical food and physical wants and needs. And that's what Paul meant when he said that he died daily and that he bare his cross daily. Because when you take up that cross and you walk it into your own crucifixion, you're actually killing ego. You're killing personality, and you let Christ conscience take you over. That's what it means to be reborn again. Now you feasting off of spiritual food. Y'all get that? Yeah. All right, come on. We're going to read a couple more. Go down to 11, then we're going to go and jump.
Okay, verse 9. And Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, Come near before the Lord, for we have heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying.
So we're gonna stop there right here. This one they got into all the mammon and all of that. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers 11, 1 through 8. Just prepping up before we actually get in the lesson. Numbers 11. One through 8. Yeah, it's crazy how we get sidetracked though, being in our own lust, ready to fill our bellies. Mm-hmm. You don't be thinking about nobody else, you just be thinking about your hunger pain. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And y'all notice, like, ain't no children around here. Y'all notice, look, you can get horny, you can get any type of fulfilling that addictive feeling to want to get something, but ain't nothing finna hit you like a hunger pain in the morning. That's one of the strongest pains ever. That's one of the strongest pains ever. Right. And you will follow your whole day looking for food just to fulfill that lust. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing with sin. Like the lust be so small. And once you get done and you get yours off, you be cool. You be ready for the next one. You know what I'm saying? So is it worth spending your whole entire day chasing after something that's not going to even fulfill you?
Desires of the flesh.
And this is when we get into the story about the flesh pots, and you start seeing with David and how he took his friend wife and the brothers that tried to sleep with Susanna and them. It's like, was that worth it? Was that little small amount of lust worth everything else? And look, if it costs a lot negatively, and you only got to put a little into it, it ain't worth it. It is not worth it. And we finna get it.
Look, you know why? Because you was known for making this pot.
Right.
You don't remember how you used to make that lamb pot? Them potatoes in there, them carrots, them baby carrots. You don't remember that?
Y'all see what's going on here? All right, come on.
Verse 6. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes.
Now y'all peep this. They're like, all we got is this stinking bread. Huh? I miss the garlic. I miss this. I miss that. I miss the fish. All we got is this bread. But if you actually get into the word manna, it's like, who is it? What is it? Because this food you used to eat, it'll taste like whatever you was thinking about.
That's right.
Huh? But they're not even thinking about that part. They just mad because it's not flesh pots. It's not garlic. It's not onions. So what was they missing? Was they missing the food, or was they missing the bondage? They was missing the bondage. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Verse 7. No, verse 6. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. Uh-huh. And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof as the color of bdellium. And the people went about and gathered it, and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar.
You see that? So you see how laborious it was to get this ready and prepared to eat? So we showing them you have to work to eat. You got to work for this spiritual food. Come on.
And baked it in pans and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was the taste of fresh oil.
Come on.
And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, manna fell upon it.
Come on.
And then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent. And the anger of the Lord was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased. And Moses said unto the Lord, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me?
Now think about how Moses felt though. As soon as something went down, everybody kept pointing the finger at Moses.
Right.
It was one point Moses thought they was finna kill him. Be like, Moses, how would you please come down and make a miracle happen before they kill me? Huh? Come on.
12. Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them?
You see that? These ain't my children, the Most High. These are not my children.
These your children.
Come on.
That thou shouldest say unto me, carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth that the suckling child, unto the land which thou swearest unto their fathers? When should I have the flesh to give to all these people? For they weep unto me, saying, give us flesh,
you see that?
we may eat.
Give us flesh. Give us flesh. That's what they wanted. They wanted flesh. They wanted meat. Huh? But see, in a spiritual sense, they wanted that carnal, lustful fulfilling. It's not about the meat. It's not about the meat. It's that fleshly part, that carnal part. They wanted to be back in bondage, eating the flesh pot, eating that lust. That's what it's about. That's what it's getting into.
It's
because
like isn't it like all your desire when you know you cooking a good meal and you might have that you having for supper that night, but you wake up in the morning, it's this day, this is what we having. So all day long you lusting.
Yeah, you lusting just for that. So at this point, is it the food or is that burning desire for it? And that's what the Most High trying to check. And that's why, in order for them to prepare the manna, it took them hours to even prepare it. It took them hours to prepare it. He's showing them that, look, you need to have patience to eat. You need to labor hard to eat. And then once we get into this New Testament, you will see that all of this was a foreshadow of what? Laboring hard for the Messiah to get the kingdom of God.
Right.
Let's read that down to 15.
So, like his title is, eat to live, not living to eat.
That
is what he's saying. Ain't nothing wrong with you wanting desire what you got cooking and it's in the crock pot. But if that's to the point that where everything else takes a second seat to that, then you may not get home to that pot or have to turn it off or something. You may have to eat a piece of bread. And will you be sustained with that piece of bread, or you gonna raise 3 levels of hell about not being able to get back to that crock pot?
Right.
What caused the problem?
Right. Your lust.
So that's where it's at, y'all, because eating has to be reduced to bread. That's all they're gonna give you in jail. They get a flesh body now.
No.
Get some kangaroo meat and cheese.
I mean, think about it though. Like, say you riding with the woman, or you riding with the children or your boys, and y'all finna get something to eat to go home to eat. And when you get there, you're potting a whole plate gone. You can't even eat with the girls no more because you done ate it on the way there. It shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to have some type of self-control. Some type of self-control. So all we doing is using the food to show that we need to get control of our lust, get control of our urges. And the Most High, and he's teaching them that in the wilderness. He like, look, y'all, it ain't even the food. It's the lust for the flesh pots. Huh? Because first y'all was saying y'all wanted the quail, y'all wanted the flesh. Now you talking about the garlic and the onions y'all was eating. Huh?
Yeah, how you gonna do that with no season?
You see what I'm saying?
Not like Kool-Aid, no sugar.
So what is this really about here? Come on.
Verse 14. I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me. And if thou deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee.
You see that? You see that? Like, if it's like that, it's gonna take me out. Right. I'd rather you take me out than to deal with this people. Now think about millions of Israelites, hungry Israelites. Oh man, that's a problem. Right. Come on.
15 again. And if thou deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee, out of hand. If I have found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness.
All right, so since we laid it, now we can get into the lesson, y'all. So y'all got that. So we not talking about actual food like this orange here that you can pick up and actually eat. We talking about a spiritual food, and there's such thing as bad spiritual food, just like there's a such thing as good spiritual food. Because whenever you see righteousness, you know wicked is right around the corner, right? All right, and we going back to spiritual bodies, right? Right? And isn't this war a spiritual war? Huh? Don't you need to eat when you at war? So what are you eating in this spiritual realm? And that's what we're gonna get to. Let's go to Philippians. Philippians 3. Philippians 3. Start at yeah, it's on you already. Start at verse 14. Yep, eating to live, not living to eat. You sure right, man.
Boy, that'd be just where they just think about it all day. He just got through with lunch and 15 minutes later, I'm so hungry.
Can't wait to get out.
Got to keep it in 13.
Yeah, gonna start at 13.
Something that he said.
No, it's all good. Start at 13. Yep, start at 13.
And why y'all have to be careful about that, because people under those spells always want you to be a part of it, so they always gonna want to bring you something back.
Well, yeah. Come on, you ready?
The book of Philippians, chapter 3, starting at verse 13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind.
Ooh, you say what?
Forgetting those things which are behind.
Come on.
And reaching forth unto those things which are before.
And see, that's what happened in the wilderness. They kept turning back, wanting to go back to the flesh pots, but they got spiritual manna bread and the whole kingdom of God that they looking for. That was the whole point, was to make it to New Jerusalem, right? Make it to Jerusalem. But they too busy trying to go back just to get some flesh pots and some garlic and some, some lambs and all of that. So they missing it. They letting the physical bread, the physical food stop them from a spiritual feast. Huh? How many of us doing that with a lot of other things in our life that's not food? Huh? With the car, with alcoholism, with hatred for a brother, with this, with that, with looking at other people's wives. There's just so many things that's stopping you from the spiritual feast with the Messiah, because you too busy stuck running and chasing sin that don't even fulfill your needs. As soon as you get done with that sin, you need more of it. You need more and more. You need more and more. And every time it get inside you in that bloodstream, it kills you. That's why it equals death. Huh? Come on.
Verse 14. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yah in Hamashiach Yahushua.
Come on.
Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if in anything ye be otherwise minded, Yah shall reveal even this unto you.
Come on.
Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same thing. Brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so as ye have us for an example.
Come on.
For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Hamashiach.
Now, peep what he's saying, and peep who he's finna show you these enemies is. Come on.
Whose end is destruction.
You see that? Whose end is destruction. So he's saying these are the signs you peep. No matter what goes on, they end is destruction, because they full of sin. They full of they can't take correction. They full of lust. And they got an addictive problem to flesh. They addicts to sin. You know how people are addicts to sin? Huh? That's the worst addiction ever. More than crack, heroin, sugar, all that put together. Sin is just so lustfully sweet. You see it, you just gotta have your hands and your nose in. It says destruction these people gonna meet. Come on.
Whose end is destruction, whose Elohim is their belly.
You see that? Who God is their belly. Now we go back to Egypt. Is he talking about the belly right here, or is he talking about that spiritual belly, where that place that fulfill all your needs? That's what he's talking about. So he's not even talking about a sense. He's talking about fulfilling the flesh, fulfilling this body. He said these people are not part of the Messiah, and these people in will be destruction. People that walk around is just trying to fulfill lustful needs, trying to fulfill the flesh. Do we forget that we have spiritual bodies too that we need to be preparing for? Didn't the Messiah say he go to prepare us a house? Isn't this a spiritual house? So if you ain't got no spiritual body, is you getting into that house? All right, so look, we worry too much about this and not too much about this. We trying to fulfill this, look good in this, and this is dead as a doorknob. Outward appearance looking good, but inwardly you a graveyard. What is that gonna do for you on Judgment Day? Because this flesh pot right here gotta die, right? So why are we making it our gods? So if you read this for what he's saying, he's not actually talking about making a belly your God. He's talking about making your body, your flesh, your God, your carnal mind, your God. You constantly giving in and being in subjection to your carnal mind. You constantly want to eat physical things, physical sin, and you ain't even worried and tripping about how it's going to have an effect on your body, because sin bringeth forth what? Death. That's an unhealthy diet. The Bible talks about a diet. Genesis 3 talks about a bad diet that went down with Adam and Eve. It never mentioned a physical food. Did it ever mention apple? So what were they eating? How can you eat of the fruit of lies? Can you eat a lot? You eat a fruit, like I said, we can go to the store and get a lot of fruit? See what I'm saying? So the whole time he's talking about digesting a mindset, a way of thinking. We have to remember that you have your body so unique. Your skin is the biggest organ on your body. It actually eat and digest everything that's around you, your whole environment. Think about it. You don't even have to smoke a cigarette. You can be with somebody that smokes cigarettes all day and get the same cancer they get. What is that? Secondhand smoke, cancer. You can get cancer from that. You can grow up in a violent environment and you become violent. What is that? You didn't eat that all your life. Now it's the same thing you giving out. Now you feeding your children the same thing. And notice I'm not even mentioning food. So we have to take everything into that perspective when we're eating. We eat every time we speak. We eat every time you touch somebody's hand. Every time you fellowship with somebody. What you listening on the radio. What you watching on TV. All of these things are digesting inside of you, and all these things you're actually programming. You're downloading them inside of your belly.
Can I say something with that?
Yeah.
We, like he's just saying, we are being conditioned in this country, and it's all coming from advertising. You know, I work a job where I listen to the radio all day, riding around in a vehicle. I had to catch myself saying, I need to refinance my house. Is my testosterone too low? Do I have to, I need to check my credit. All this stuff is just being pounded on me every day, and I'm sitting there wondering. And it's like, Nick, snap out of it. Right. This is just like, I was talking to Daniel once. I was looking up some snakes, and then I get a thing on my phone that says, Walmart sells snakes. I'm like, wait a minute, Walmart don't sell snakes. So it's everything that we're doing, they're trying to grab every aspect of our lives and say, you like that beer? I got this beer right here on sale for you. Go to this store. Stuff like that.
All to fulfill lust. All to fulfill lust.
But we have to remember that, no, this is what this world does. This is what this is, and we set apart from this kind of stuff.
Right. So instead of him riding around worried about his 401k, is he riding around like, damn, I did commit that sin yesterday. Forgive me. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's choosing the right diet, because now from here on out, you eating healthy. And when you eat healthy, you eating of the word of God. And you drinking of that real alkaline water, which is that everlasting fountain. You see what I'm saying? So we too stuck into trying to sustain this body that's going to die anyway.
That's right.
It's going to die anyway. Right. Now, I'm not saying be an unhealthy Negro because everybody got to die. Don't use that to back that up with the Hebrews 9:26 at all. Everybody want to do that. They want to back that up. Well, I'm just going to eat it anyway. We all got to die anyway. I mean, you're supposed to live a good, fulfilled laborer's life, right? He said, enjoy the fruits of your labor. But I'm saying, when that become before your eternal life, When you put that before eternal life, you hustling backwards out here.
Yeah.
And you still unhealthy. And one of our main things is lust, period. Because you can lust for women, you can lust for man, you can lust for food, you can lust for drugs, anything that your heart desire, according to the Bible, is considered what? Lust. So what are we lusting for? Are we lusting for the kingdom of God, or are we lusting for our kingdom to be here right now when we know it's not? Look at our conditions. We eating slavery food right now, spiritually. It's time to change our diets.
And what are people eating when you tell them they got a lie bump on their tongue?
Eating lies.
I mean, what are they eating? I mean, is it something out there you can eat? You be like, yeah, it is a lie bump on here. I was eating that. I mean, it ain't no physical out there for it. So in that point, you're either been speaking it or you took it in from somebody else. But even when you just have a general conversation like that, it's not a physical conversation because you know it ain't nothing out there you can eat that put light bumps on.
Exactly.
Or you won't be eating that.
Right.
You shouldn't, unless you just practicing to tell a bunch of lies.
Right.
Then you go grocery shopping at that store.
Yeah. But look, we can see through science and through the new doctors that what you think and what you put out and your actions and the environment you live around actually have the biggest effect on your body more than any physical food you stick down your throat. Mm-hmm. So this shows you that you don't only just eat and digest food, you eat and digest thinking, thoughts, vibration, energy, light waves, and everything around you. If me and Elder right here have a conversation right now, isn't I'm eating, I'm sitting back, my ears are open, and I'm digesting the information. So if Satan sit right here, what am I eating? I'm eating food that he cooked for me, right?
Right.
And Satan is a nothing but death, right? So what that food I just ate, what is that gonna bring about in my body? Disease. And what comes from disease? Death. It's like if you actually apply it in this way and go through these scriptures, you will see that that's all the Most High was talking about since the beginning, a bad diet. Don't eat from this tree. We read that tree was not a physical tree. It was a man. You can't eat a man. Eve wasn't on no carnivore stuff, was she? She wasn't eating, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't being Hannibal Lecter or nothing. So what she was taking counsel from Satan.
Yeah.
That's what was going on. What's up, sir?
Is that applied to whether you are joking or not? Let me give an instance. I made a statement about a brother, and it was all fun to have, a laughter moment. Mm-hmm. And I was joking, and I wasn't feeling it, or I wasn't, thinking of what could come out of it or transpire with it. Now, my question is, if I was just joking and I let them know it was, it was all about joking, and I'm not really serious, does that clean it up, or should I just not
say it? And then I know, and to every joke is 5% true. That's why it is a joke. That's what makes it funny. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
It was more than 5%.
Exactly. So that means you weren't supposed to be saying it. You see what I'm saying? Because regardless, whenever you speak, you're the one cooking. Whoever's listening is the one eating. So you just gave him a whole bad perspective, a bad guy. Now, if you was putting him on point about some things and we calling it, correction and reproof, that's totally different. But if you sitting here mocking what you know is some truth in the joke, otherwise the joke wouldn't be funny. Ain't no joke funny unless it's truthful, right? Let's keep it 100. Right. So yeah, at this point you're cooking, you're being the chef, and he's eating. Yeah. You feeding him bad meat. You know what I'm saying? But you said you apologize for it, so it is what it is. Just be careful with that. And then look, we as Israelites, we do a lot of junk.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Okay. That answer your question?
I think
well, look, it just can't be personal. I mean, if it's personal, and if he may laugh it off, but say, just say he married his wife, may think that's not cool. Okay, so you have to even look at it from that perspective. I don't want to leave that in his household, because I can say I'm sorry, but that don't remove it from that. They still gonna be arguing about it, So you have to think before you push sin. Even a text message, if you saying it could get forwarded, you got to think before you push sin or reword it, that where if it is forwarded on, it can be easily explained, or it may not need no explanation at all.
Right.
So you have to be careful in this age what's been said, and know who you can joke with. We joke with each other, and it ain't personal because you're not digging to the bone, to the marrow of the bone with whatever it is, you know, because it can be cunning and conniving.
Right.
You know, and then you say, okay, I got caught up on that, and they caught my scheme, you know. So if you don't want that to even be thought about, wait before you push sin.
Right.
My thought was, okay, let me back off that. I don't want to put that out there. And you know, it's funny why I was saying it, but you know, the thoughts were still in my head. And I pulled myself back off of it and I said I liked something else, which was true. And I think it was a point of being really honest at that time. But I did push back because I wanted to get out there and have people upset.
Right. You have to be cautious of that when there's more than one other individual can be slow down, to be involved. So you have to always think about like this church. You know, it's like any other corporation you work for, represent. They tell you represent us. So you have to make decisions that personal in your life, and that corner we don't care about that. But I'm saying if it's a situation that involves a body, you got to make sure what I'm doing, I'm not bringing drama into that from the back end just for a quick minute of pleasure, so to speak. You know, I got at him, it hit hard, but the back end of it caused this much problems. You have to really truly think before you hit sin and just say, never mind, I won't sin nothing at all. I'll just leave it right where it's at.
Right.
You gotta be wise about who you around too. Because you gotta be wise about who you hang around too. Because I got elders and brothers I be around that if you don't got a strong mind, you mess around and got depressed.
Yeah, you be ready to fight.
Like really. I'm saying like for real, like, but see with me it's all good because I laugh at myself, you feel me? Like for example, y'all know bro Jacob down there, right? Y'all listen to the radio, everybody laughing and you know, this is crazy, right? But Jacob jump on me all the time. All the like live on earth.
Right.
You feel me? Now that thing was bigger than that thing was bigger than your head.
Yeah.
Bigger than your forehead. Or he'll say, how old are you? I'll be like, I'm 36. Boy, I got a pair of drawers over than you. You know, little stuff, you feel me? So if I was weak in my mindset, I'd be like, dang, that's messed up. Everybody laughing at me, you feel me? I laugh with them.
Right.
You know, it is what it is. So, I mean, when you're around, it ain't just him. We got brothers, guys that sit and get it. Yeah, the lieutenant. You feel me? Like if you around these brothers, you better have a strong mind. Because there's gonna be some hee-hawing and some laughing all night long till somebody go to sleep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the brothers don't mean no harm.
No, right.
But you gonna hear something to where if you ain't strong enough, you be like, man, that's messed up, man. I'm all in my feelings. And, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
but brothers really don't mean no harm like that, but that's what we do. We get around each other and woof. It'll go down, you feel me? And then you start thinking somebody think a certain way about you, but it ain't even like that.
Right.
It just, you know what I'm saying? This is what we do, we bros.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What we at?
We're in the book of Philippians, chapter 3, in verse 19.
Come on.
And it reads, whose end is destruction, whose Elohim is their belly.
You see that? So we got to check ourselves and look in the mirror and be like, hey, is my belly my God? Do I put my lust and my pride over the Messiah's mission? Do I put my lust and my pride over the commandments? If your lust breaks commandments, then you lusting on the wrong things. If your lust distracts you from the commandments, then you lusting on the wrong thing. Your diet is wrong and it's time to change it up. Come on.
And whose glory is in their shame.
You see that? Who glory is in their shame. Come on.
Who mind earthly things.
Who what?
Who mind earthly things.
See, so he's telling you what this diet is right here. Who mind earthly things.
For our conversation is in heaven.
See, our conversation in heaven. We eat on a spiritual diet.
That's right.
Only thing we eating is commandments of God so we can get to the kingdom. That's what we eat. Yes, we eat here and there to sustain his flesh. You know what I'm saying? To do the work of the Lord, but our diet consists of 10 commandments. No, I got to change that up. I'm not vegan no more. What diet you on? The 10 Commandment diet. Huh? See, that's what our diet's supposed to be on. We're supposed to be focused and eating that. Now, of course, we got to feed these vehicles, but when lust overpowers the commandment of God, then you're sinning at that point. And that's what was going on in Egypt. And this is why Paul is talking about this here. Even if it's just sowing discord, being a person that murmur and talk about somebody behind their back, that is bad dieting. And in order to talk about somebody, that means you have to be feeding this to somebody else to listen, right? So you passing on this diet, huh? Would you willfully pass? Yeah, you know, it got salmonella on here. You want it? Would you say yeah? So yeah, you know that brother, man. You don't tell you what he did the other day. Yeah, him and his what do I want? But you sit here and you take ear to that though, right? This is the same effect. The same thing. What's different between what's the difference between the poisonous orange and them speaking badly about somebody to you and not talking to that person? What's the difference? Ain't it still poison to you?
Yeah.
Huh? The same thing. So you might as well go eat the pig. You might as well eat the pork.
Oh.
So again, do diet only consist of physical food? No. Ain't we seeing that? So what is y'all diet? Is y'all healthy or is y'all eating unhealthy? And we all know the results of both of them. So where are you going with your diet? Come on, King.
For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior.
So that we do what?
Look for the Savior.
See, that's the outcome of the 10 Commandment diet. Salvation come with it. Salvation come with that diet. So if salvation come with that diet, and that's the ultimate goal of salvation, then all of our energy need to be focused on what? This diet. This diet. The first thing people do when they wake up is go straight for breakfast. But ain't even ate their spiritual food and gave thanks that the Most High woke them up for another day to eat a perfect diet. You see that? The diet is all jacked up. You gotta wine with that fro, boy. What's up?
Gaza City in the building.
That's what we talking about right there.
Right. All right, come on.
We look for the Savior, the Master, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
We can stop it right there. That's all
Can
I'm speaking.
I pull 2 quick ones real quick?
Yeah.
Hosea 10 and 13.
Oh yeah, that's on my list.
Proverbs 4:17.
Yep, I'm on my list, brother.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah. So you should have finished at 21.
So I got 31.
John 6. I got John 6 over there too.
Yeah, we doing John 6 the whole chapter. Yeah, I got all that. Now let's hit the Sirach.
No, he got where he going. I'm just going some more.
We're going to Sirach next.
Yeah, I just want to hit this one to get the understanding. Even y'all on the spiritual level, even when you around a bunch of people, you know, it's a way to not eat and be glutton in that way spiritually too. You know, because if you're breaking bread, you can't be greedy, and you know, you have to let everybody get some or let the plate pass. So because everybody's at the table, you know, so in like manner, but this Sirach kind of gets into it on the physical side so you can understand it spiritually. Because if you don't apply these on the physical side, everybody is thinking about it spiritually either. Right. Did you see that? Did none pass, did no plate pass where he didn't put his hand in it? You know, so they're like, he gonna eat up everything. Right. So it's just gonna give this perspective. Go ahead, hit that, who that's on?
Yeah, where you want to go, man?
31:13 through 21.
My bad.
Because you're gonna be forced to do something at the end of it.
Chapter 31.
You start off with 13.
What chapter?
Sirach, Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. 31:13 start. Just a little bit of understanding and you know, so we look at it, y'all, because a lot of times since we're visual people, some people can imagine things like artists like Elijah and Brother Isaiah, you know, you can tell them what you're saying and they can paint, and it's almost like you're in their head. Then you have people who can draw. I can see that and I can draw what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. So a lot of time the scripture will have you understand. It has to give you a picture so you can look at it and understand it, but you've always been thinking it. It's just now you're thinking with understanding. Go ahead, brother.
We'll start that at 12. Then.
Okay.
We're in the book of Sirach, chapter 31, starting at verse 12. If thou sit at a bountiful table, be not greedy upon it, and say not, there is much meat on it. Remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing, and what is created more wicked than an eye. Therefore, it weepeth upon every occasion.
Now, you can find a lot of things in the Bible, wicked people, this, but out of all of those individuals, whether it's male, female, there's still an eye on either one of them. So it makes it more wicked than that individual, because it's something that if it's looking and seeing something the wrong way, that's how the lust starts.
Change the whole interpretation.
The whole interpretation of it. Go ahead, bro.
Right.
Verse 14. Stretch not thine hand whithersoever it looketh, and thrust it not with him into the dish. Judge of thy neighbor by thyself. Judge of thy neighbor by thyself, and be discreet in every point. Eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before thee, and devour not, lest thou be hated. Leave off first for manners' sake.
So be first to get up from the table.
Right.
Yeah, I thought somebody said something about some dessert was starting. I smell cakes and pies. They like, he still got room. Go ahead.
Leave off first for manners' sake, and be not unsatiable, lest thou offend. When thou sittest among many, reach not thine hand out first of all. A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
Y'all understand what that said? It said sufficient amount, like he's saying. It's enough to get up and ask the Lord, thank you for the breath in my body.
Yeah.
Without that, you can't eat.
Right.
So it said sufficient, or you're going to get the wind, because you get greedy, meaning you're going to get short of breath when you eat too much. Because that acid reflux, and you so full, you stuff, you done loosen your belly, but you still stuff, and it's starting to cut your wind off. So you ain't going to be able to sleep. That's why you shouldn't eat late like that before you go to bed.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 20. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth early.
What do you do?
He riseth early, and his wits are with him.
See, you can't rise early if you've been struggling all night to get to sleep.
And your body,
And then you get that throw up.
your body's still trying to digest all that food in your stomach.
Right.
The only time your body can digest food is while it's sleeping.
Yeah. And you load it up.
Load it up.
So, you know, you get an acid reflux and you tossing and turning. You go try to get rid of it, but you can't. You come back. You just full, and ain't nothing gonna happen until the digestion process takes its course. And you got more than the acid your body is producing to break it down. Go ahead, brother.
But the pain of watching, and choler, and pains of the belly are with an unsatiable man. And if thou hast been forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest.
Yeah.
You get that right.
That's it.
You want to go some more?
Yeah, go on, finish that off.
Verse 22. My son, hear me, and despise me not. And at the last thou shalt find as I told thee. In all thy works be quick, so shall there no sickness come unto thee. Whoso is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him, and the report of his good housekeeping will be believed. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur.
They're gone, huh?
They're gone.
Stingy with it.
So start up in 23 again.
Yeah, it just means when you look it up, just extremely stingy.
Yeah.
Have his hand in everybody else's pot, but you come over there, there's 2 wings for 30 people.
Yeah, look, liberal, liberty, you know, you giving it away, it's clean, everything nice, it's welcome, it's comfortable. He said that the whole city be rapping about him.
Yeah.
Man, he got his, let's go over his house. But to be a nigga
Yeah.
over your own chicken, you know how
Yeah.
niggas is with chicken.
Yeah.
Don't want to share it with nobody, like
Yeah.
you saying. You know what I'm saying? Two wings for $8. You like, hold on, what?
Get that dictionary for that. No, I'm just telling him to get the dictionary. Look it up real quick. What? Continue to read. Yeah.
Do y'all just write down the second witness for that. It's Proverbs 23, 1 through 3. To that Sirach we just read. Second witness to that is Proverbs 23, 1 through 3. I got it up on the board. Y'all just write it down.
Verse 24 again. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur, and the testimonies of his niggardness shall not be doubted of.
Let me read this definition, y'all. Let me read this definition. Nigger.
He pronounces it so well.
Yeah, no,
Niggardness.
Nigger. From a miser from Scandinavia, akin to Swedish dialect, but it's just saying a stingy, grasping person, a miser, niggardly, unwilling to part with anything, stingy.
Don't that sound like a nigga? So that's why the words are so close together, bro.
Go ahead, Al.
Come on.
Y'all listen up. Go ahead, Al.
Like I've read a few times in the Bible, nigga. But then like I think it's in the wisdom of Solomon saying don't do this. Then in the New Testament, all the ones that was in Antioch, they called niggas, which means black Hispanic prophet teaching. So how can you discern the difference?
Just the one is Niggard, yeah.
Right.
And
Different words.
right. ARD.
It's a totally different word.
The other one is Niger.
Yeah, Niger.
Right. Niger. That's where they get the word nigger from, and subconsciously they call them black.
Yeah.
Without even knowing. I mean, it's called a racial slur today, but it comes from nigger. Niger produced the word negro.
Right.
In Spanish, you know what I'm saying, or Latin, which means black.
Negro.
That's a Niggard right there, though. Niggard.
Or Nigas. Nigas mean black king.
Yeah,
Nigas.
one is a person, one is the way of a person.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they two totally different words and two totally different definitions. It just sound alike. That's all. All right, come on, let's finish this.
Verse 25. Show not thy valiantness in wine, for wine hath destroyed many.
Hey, Judah know that boy to be true. I'm telling you, come on.
The furnace proveth the edge by dipping. So doth wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness.
Come on.
Wine is as good as life to a man, if it be drunk moderately.
Just like your food supposed to be ate moderately. So too much access of anything is bad for you. You see that? Come on.
What life is then to a man that is without wine? For it was made to make men glad.
That's right.
That's the truth, though. That's the truth. But it's,
Drink some wine, man.
yes, but it's a man, that line between that and alcoholism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's very thin.
That's
so
right.
You gotta watch that. You catch yourself drinking every single day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then what would you call that? You know what I'm saying? You're chasing the happiness every single day because you're not happy. See, it's supposed to make you glad at heart, but that shouldn't be your only source of gladness.
That's right.
Because you got Christ. You got grace. See what I'm saying? Come on.
And let me say this, and see, when it says don't be valiant at the wine, there's always going to be the line of drinking, or with anything of moderation.
Right.
When you stumble or you lose focus just a minute,
Put it down.
if it's still up here, you only took 2 sips, you found your range.
Yeah, that's your limit.
The problem is you get valiant at the wine, like you say, oh, hell no, I used to drink a fifth of Hen by myself.
Yeah.
A half pint, I can't be through at a half pint. Something got to be wrong. I'm going to go look in the mirror and I'm going to do this and see. And then I'm going to come back and know. And once you drink past your limit,
Ain't that
now it's the problem.
And that's lust right there.
So now all his friends come with him now.
Because you think, look, like Dan saying, you was fulfilled right at her. Why do you want to keep going? That's lust, man.
Can't put that Hen back on the counter, boy. That's good Hen.
I'm gonna get my money's worth.
Hey, I'm gonna waste my money. Yeah, gonna waste my money.
Also about
That's that master blend, baby.
Master.
and also about the valiantly. That's what the term liquid courage comes from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
You gotta have a drink
Yes,
before
sir.
you go do something, whether it be
Whatever.
you need to loosen your tongue to get some things off your chest to communicate with somebody,
Yeah.
or you finna go do somebody.
And y'all know alcohol is an actual Arabic word. It means to welcome spirits in. If you look at the word alki and all that, it means God in the hall. If you actually look up the root word to alcohol, it means to welcome spirits in. That's why they call it wine and what? Spirits. Look up the root word to alcohol, y'all. Look it up.
Randall wine and spirit right there.
Yep, Randall wine and spirit.
Old Hall Spirit.
Yeah. See, but everybody got their own addictions though. So we can't talk about the alcoholic if we ain't gonna talk about the one that smoke his brains out.
Right, or
You know what I'm
that eating itself away. So
Yeah.
it's just covering everything that's basically consuming,
Right.
going in the mouth. And spiritually, you got to be careful what goes in your mouth as well.
Exactly. And that's what the lesson about. Seriously, because we always talk about what comes out of a man. Well, let's talk about what go in it too.
Right.
So look, let's hurry up and get through this lesson though. We've been getting hung up.
I just want to ask, can you pray over it and it's still drink it and I'm
No.
gonna live it?
Oh, no.
No.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
That's love. So you're praying to be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Or you want to be able to drink a fifth to show off what?
Right.
What, a cirrhosis of the liver?
Right.
I mean, because that's all you're gonna be showing off.
Right.
You know, and that's gonna show in your countenance, because you're gonna get black as Manute Bowl and your eyes gonna turn yellow as some cheddar cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we'll know what you were praying for. So you have to be careful, since that's like praying over pork. That's what the next thing will be. Why can't pray over pork? Or shrimps.
Right. Same analogy, right?
Yeah.
All right, come on, let's get to it.
Verse 28,
Hey, y'all, hold down, y'all.
wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart
That's right.
and cheerfulness of the mind.
See, and it's talking about in season too, y'all. So when the feast day come up, that's when people will see if you're valiant at the wine, because it's a measured drink feast. It's a moderation day feast. If you staggering at the Passover, we know it's pure gluttony at that point. You came to party.
You trying to turn up.
Right. That's what you come for. If you stagger at the Passover, you brought that with you.
Yeah. That's the truth. Come on.
Verse 29, but wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind, with brawling and quarreling.
I see that. Get a bar. I don't care. Look, that's the thing about that's how you know it's spirits. You can get a bar full of hunkies or a bar full of Israelites. Let some liquor go down in that bar. It's gonna be a bar fight. It's what's going on. No matter who it is. Come on.
Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend.
That's right.
It diminisheth strength and maketh wounds.
See, those are the wounds when you do a face first. Because when you get drunkenness, your mind is on the quarreling or what your eyes are looking at. And they don't tell your hand to get your hands up before your face hit the concrete. And you do this first, and then you pull your hands up.
Oh, yeah, that's our fault.
And feel right here. It may not go all across here. They may go down. They may not. But it's going to show the people what happened the next day, because it's going to be a skint wound from valiantness of the wine. And this is what takes after the brawling, or somebody's going to put those may nots on you because you're going to say something you ought not.
Yeah.
You don't care who's standing there. You'll say something to this woman right to his face and don't care. Stand there scowling because valiantness of the wine is taking over. And the next thing you know, you want to stretch it.
Yeah, you literally drinking. When you drinking that wine, you got to remember, and you drinking spirits. You drinking spirit. That's why they call it that. You know what I'm saying? Actually look up that word, y'all. So you, like I said, be moderately with it and know what you're doing and make sure your intention's good. Because and look, don't have liquid courage. You see punks all day. As soon as they drink, now they the hardest heroes.
Yeah. Right, you trust that.
Right.
He hyped, though. Put him in the car.
All right, come on, let's get with it. Man.
Verse 31.
Uh-huh.
Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine.
You see that? You can't tell. Drinking wine is a sin. You're going to hell for drinking. You can't do that because it's not. Huh? What was Jesus' first miracle? All right, come on.
And despise him not in his mirth.
Uh-huh.
Give him no despiteful words, and press not upon him the urging him to drink.
Right.
So, you know, and y'all, when y'all looking at that, despise him not in his mirth, because he's already wine making him happy already. So when you checking him while he's in that state, this is what made Abigail so wise, because this is the state her husband was in when he was about to die.
Mm-hmm.
So she couldn't hit him at that point. She waited till the next morning when he's sober, when he could think correctly,
right.
because his mouth really would have said some things that it shouldn't have been said about David and his men. I tell you what, you tell that black SOB, mount up, boys.
Mount up.
But she knew at that point, and wise, I can't say this because his heart is merry at this point. I don't want to turn it to anger wise in this point, so I'm not going to rebuke him at this point in his mirth. So, you know, but that has to come to a stop sooner or later. You be doing that all the time, you know, and it gets dangerous, and then that means you are taking care of somebody else's gluttons.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a problem. Go ahead, brother.
All right, come on, we're going to go to Genesis. Let's go and get through this, y'all. We're kind of behind. Let's go to Genesis 3, started at 1. Genesis 3 started at 1. Eating to live is on you. Remember, we talking about dieting, and we not talking about physical food you stick down your throat.
3 and 1.
Yeah, 3 and 1 started at 1.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yah had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, has God said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
See, so we see in the beginning, once he planted that garden, the whole thing was based off a diet plan, wasn't it? Huh? Once he created man and he put them in the garden, he gave them a diet plan. He said, the moment that you break this diet plan, if you break this diet plan, what? You die. This day you're going to die. And because of this broken diet plan, don't we all die? Off a diet plan in a garden. The only thing to eat in garden is good stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
Huh? So what was going on here spiritually? Come on.
And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yah has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
So what fruit that grows in the garden that you can actually touch and you would die from? What is he talking about here? And then when you start getting into these words, desire, pleasant to look upon, then you start getting into Isaiah, you start seeing that these trees were actually men. Then you see it's about consuming and taking counsel. He said, don't take counsel from that tree which is in the midst of the garden, the tree of knowledge, good and evil. At this point, y'all, who was the only person that committed evil acts? Huh? Satan. Everything God had made was good, right? So who is this tree of knowledge, good and evil? So it's showing you that this tree is garden, and that this tree in the garden is Satan in the midst of the garden, which is the tree of knowledge, good and evil. And by him saying don't eat of it, he means don't partake and take counsel in. So partaking and taking counsel from wickedness is actually eating of forbidden fruit. Come on.
And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for Yah doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Now again, what fruit is there, physical fruit out there that turns you into a god? Anybody know one of them fruits? Huh? All right, so we know what he's talking about here. Come on.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes.
You see that? It was pleasant to the eyes. Not only did this, he just told her this fruit gonna make you a god. So we see at this part, Eve is dealing with what? Lust. It was pleasant to her eyes. She know if she take counsel and listen to this man, that she'll become a god and be filled with all this wisdom and knowledge. Come on.
And a tree to be desired to make one wise.
You see that? So what did she want? What did Eve want out of this whole ordeal? She wanted to be wise.
Serpent wisdom.
She wanted the wisdom of the serpent's bread. Come on.
She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked.
So eating and being on a bad diet brings shame. You see that? They ate and shame immediately came and they seen themselves naked, meaning they caught themselves in shame. Now picture how that feel. You are a spiritual being, and you didn't know nothing about this shame. This ain't never felt nothing like this before. All of a sudden you do what Abba told you not to do, and now you feeling like, man, you feel exposed. So you can imagine how they felt, because they immediately went and took stuff and started hiding their naked parts. Come on.
And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
You look up the word apron, it says a covering to cover, and it tells you it covers the lower member. So if they wasn't doing nothing sexual, then why they not covering their mouths? If they ate a fruit, why ain't they put the apron over their mouth? Why ain't put the figs over their mouth? It's showing you that it's not talking about actual food. This is a bad diet in the garden, and it got something to do with sin and listening to sin.
Seduction.
Yeah.
Come on.
And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden.
Come on.
And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself.
You see that? Because I was ashamed. I knew I broke a commandment. You're going to say, who told you that you broke a commandment? How you know you naked? Come on.
And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
You see that? And then we always blame our diet on somebody else, even physically.
Yeah.
Well, my mama ate it, my daddy ate it, so I'm gonna eat. Y'all gonna blame it on somebody else. Well, that's all my wife cooked.
Right.
Well, I can't cook, so I gotta go to fast food restaurant. We always blaming our bad diets on everybody else but ourselves. Ain't nobody feeding you. You got to take this stuff and put it in your own mouth, just like you have to commit your own sinful acts. Ain't nobody committing sin for you. Is it? On Judgment Day, can I take your iniquity? Can I go to lake of fire for you and you? No, okay then. Come on.
And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
You see that? And she blamed it on the serpent. Look, I got seduced by the serpent. So everybody pointing the finger.
Beguiled me.
Right.
I seen them twitching.
Yeah, I'm over here shaking. I'm like, good
Like he had to wash underwear and tie. It'll make you itch.
Hold your spot right there. Hold your spot right there. One of y'all pull that Hosea 10 to 13. Hosea 10 to 13, and then you pull Proverbs 30 and 20. You still hear it though. Hosea 10 and 13, and Proverbs 30 and 20. So we see it was some spiritual eating going on here, and it wasn't talking about no fruits.
Yeah.
So just imagine how much unhealthy spiritual foods we eat every day. Meaning you can be on a plant-based diet physically and still be unhealthy as all hell. Hosea 10 to 13.
I got it.
All right, go ahead.
The book of Hosea, chapter 10, verse 13 says, Ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity, ye have eaten the fruit of lies.
You see that? Ye have eaten the fruit of lies. Now, once again, family, is there a lot of fruit in the store somewhere, in the produce aisle?
Right.
Have y'all seen a lot of fruit? So obviously you can eat lies by listening to unwise counsel, right?
That's right.
Or going to pass the pork chop and he telling you don't have to keep the commandments and you believe that.
That's right.
Isn't that eating lies?
Yeah, it is.
Then you consume that.
That's right.
And then it comes out of you, and why it comes out of you in the bathroom, it shows because you're not keeping the commandments no more. So meaning you ate it and you digested, now it came up out of you. See, information does the same exact thing as physical food. Come on.
Let me run this, back it up to 12 and read into 13.
Go ahead.
It says, sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy. Break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord, till he come and rain righteousness upon you.
Yeah.
Ye have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity, ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou didst trust in thy way,
You see that?
and in the multitude of mighty men.
You see that? So you trusted in man. You took the counsel of a man word, then you took the counsel of your father. Isn't this going right back to this garden what we reading right now? Finish that off real quick, Hebrew.
Verse 14. Therefore shall a Toma arise among thy people, and all thy fortress shall be spoiled. And Solomon spoiled Beth-Rabel in the day of battle.
We can stop it right there, but this just show you from not listening to the Most High, sin and death, from not listening to the Most High, which is committing to sin, death come from it. Let's get another one, Proverbs 30 and 20. Proverbs 30 and 20.
Reading in the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, starting at verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman.
Ain't that sinful, right? Now peep this. It says, such is the way of adulterous woman. We know that adulteress or adulterer period is worthy by death, right? Thou shalt not commit what? Adultery. So this is breaking sin. Now peep what he associated with. Come on.
She eateth.
See what?
She eateth and wipeth her mouth.
So what is she eating? She eateth and wipeth her mouth. But he associating this with law breaking. Same thing we just read in Hosea 10 and 13 and what we read now in Genesis 3. Come on.
And saith, I have done no wickedness.
You see that? So we're talking about a bad diet here. So committing adultery is a bad diet, right? Lying is a bad diet, right? Killing your brother is a bad diet. Serving other gods is a bad diet. So I'm trying to program this in y'all head. That way the next time y'all think of a thought, know that it's food. And it's like, dang, should I put this in my mouth or not?
Food for thought.
Food for thought, right? Food for thought. Right. Come on.
You want some more of this?
Yeah, read to 22.
Verse 21. For 3 things the earth is disquieted, and for 4 which it cannot bear. For a servant when he has reigned, for a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat.
Come on.
For an odious woman when she is married, and an handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There be 4 things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wide.
Now, we can stop there right here. Come on, let's get it. Now we back into Genesis 3.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed.
Now, Pete, what he talking about? Now, is he talking to Adam at this point? Is he talking to Adam at this point?
No.
No, he's talking to the woman and serpent, right? So you see what he said? I'm going to put enmity between your seed and who else seed? Her seed. So what was really going on in this garden where he's cursing descendants? Where he's putting enmity on descendants? It don't sound like it was no fruit eating going on.
No.
It don't sound like it was no apple going on here. It sound like it was a bad diet though, right? Come on.
It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children.
See, now look, he cursing that again. When it's coming up out of that womb, you're going to be in so much pain and travail. You see that? They took aprons, they covered up their lower parts. Huh? Looked like he cursing lower parts. Come on.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Come on.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
Read down to 21 then.
Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field.
Now see that all this from a bad diet.
Yes.
We still taking hold of this bad diet today. So the cycle still continues. And that's why we steady getting killed out here and our heads steady getting busted in the streets because it's called, look, they always say a genetic disease or it was hereditary. It wasn't hereditary at all. Your mama ate pork. That's why she had high blood pressure. She fed it to you. Now you eating it. That's why you got high blood pressure. And now you feeding it to your children. That's why they got high blood pressure. This didn't happen through the bloodline. This happened because of lifestyle, because of a diet plan.
Yes, sir.
And we still sticking to the same diet plan on spiritual wickedness. So we still getting bit by it.
Hey,
Same thing.
But this time, they didn't eat food at all anyway. They didn't have stomachs yet because until they fell into transgressions. When they fell into transgressions.
What you mean they have stomach then?
When it's in the law. Sorry. But what I'm saying is that the diet that they already had was
food of the angels.
Right, was the word. And then after the transgression, when the Most High put the curse, even when he said to Adam, now you shall have to eat the herbs of the field.
Yeah, because they had spiritual bodies, meaning they was eating spiritual food. You know what I'm saying? They had, and remember, it's bodies celestial, bodies terrestrial, but it's food to accommodate them both. That's why if you read the book of Tobit, the angel Raphael did not eat with them because he doesn't eat earthly food. But there is food that you eat in heaven, though. You know what I'm saying? With your spiritual body. So this is keep that. You do eat in the kingdom. All right, come on.
Me?
Yeah.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it thou wast taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
Come on.
And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of
We can
skins
stop it right there.
and clothe them.
And that's when he put them into the flesh to subdue this right here. You know what I'm saying? And because of that flesh, we all die. All right, from there, we're going to go to Luke. Let's go to Luke 4, 1 through 13. Luke 4, 1 to 13. Just talking about diet. Y'all getting some understanding so far, all right? About this spiritual diet that we're supposed to be on. And notice it's not physical at all. So even though, and then this lets you know that your dietary law, the physical dietary law, actually have a spiritual significance to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like the saying, don't cast your pearls before swine.
Right.
He wasn't actually talking about a swine, all right? You see what I'm saying? Or he said that the Messiah Judas represents as a lion. You start going through the scripture and you start seeing that man actually being a similitude to beast. And it's talking about animalistic nature. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with this. Like, diet just do not only consist of this. Bad dieting is why we're in this position that we're in right now. Because a bad spiritual diet is commandment breaking. Come on.
And Yahushua answered him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone.
You see that? Now look, this is in a spiritual sense, and you can broaden this very, very wild. So he just not talking about bread. He's talking about fleshly things, period. I don't need nothing fleshly. Only thing I need is what? The word of God. As long as I got the word of God, I'm good. Come on.
But by every word of Yah.
Come on.
And the devil, taking him up into a high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time.
Hold on, we just went offline, y'all. Okay. All right, come on.
And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee.
You see that? So that's the end game. Now, look, a person with a bad diet that give in to lust, when they took this proposition, but the Messiah didn't take it because he knew the distinction from a good diet and a bad diet. This is the Messiah here. So if the devil came to you with this same thing, well, I give you all the power to just work the commandment of God, would you do it? You need to ask yourself like that. Is this something that's worth my soul? Is this something that can I actually put a price on my soul? And if you can, you in the subjection of lust.
That's right.
Come on.
And the glory of them. For that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will, I give it.
Come on, we can stop there right there. No, just to show that proof part. 2 Timothy 3, 1-4. And then we get back in this Philippians. Okay. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. I got you. In 2 Timothy.
2 Timothy.
Chapter 3. Chapter 3, my brother. 1-4. Yep, we all caught up on the flesh pot, man.
That's right. And letting somebody else show us our diet.
Yeah.
You know, because they'll show it on that HD TV you just bought from Sam. Boy, it looks so real, like you can put your hand in there. But when you get up to the line, yeah, give me that what y'all showed on TV just a minute ago.
I don't even be that.
When you unwrap that, it's gonna be flat. It ain't gonna look nothing like the picture.
No, nothing.
What do you do but that point but start to eat unsatisfied?
Right.
At that point, you just biting and chewing because you didn't spend your money at this point. Right. And like manner with a bad doctrine, it's gonna be the same way when you get through with that bad doctrine. It's gonna taste the same.
Yep. And notice it on these things stomach long. When you eat healthy, as soon as you get done eating, you gotta go straight to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It was like, dang, I did all that, put all my energy and effort in for that. All that lust for that? One and gone? You one pumping out?
Oh. Am I going out to get some water?
Yeah. Come on.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
You see that? For men should be lovers of their own selves. And that's you choosing your lust over the Messiah. You choosing your lust over your family. Come on.
Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers.
See that? All this is a bad diet, y'all.
That's right.
Incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God.
Read that again.
Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than the lovers of God.
Come on.
Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away.
Look, that's a bad diet. And the crazy part is, you can tell the good diet because when you get to it, it says the fruits of the Spirit or these. And then he named it.
That's right.
So he showed you what the diet plan is off back, and then he called it a fruit. But it's all types of things that's coming down that's spiritual that you can't physically eat.
That's right.
How can you physically eat joy, love, peace, long suffering? How can you physically eat that? But yet he called it a fruit. It's all about a diet plan.
That's right.
And it's time to get our diet plan down. We got it right here. We ain't following that one. So you see that you can be following the dietary plan, but still be off on your diet.
That's right.
Still be off. You can not eat pork all you want. But if you land with your brother's wife, you still got a bad diet.
Uh-oh.
And death's still coming from it.
That's right.
Huh? And death's still coming from it. So you can follow the dietary law and still have a bad diet, y'all. Come on. You went down to 6? Shabbat shalom, brother.
Verse 6. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sin, led away with divers lusts.
Come on.
Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith.
Ooh, come on.
But they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also
You
was.
see that? So you can't go around with a bad diet thinking ain't nobody gonna be smelling you. And that's the thing about eating a bad diet. Well, you can smell. So when you walk in the house, you be like, man, spray some air freshener. You stinking the high heaven up in here.
Right.
Huh? Same thing spiritually. It seeps from you. Y'all be people. Y'all know wickedness when y'all see it. Huh? And your mama always tell you, there's something about that person. I don't know, son. There's something about that. We get the warnings, right? We get the warnings of bad dieting.
Yeah.
And then we quick to go to eat with people. Quick to go sit at somebody's dinner table.
That's right.
And eat with their lives. They feed you all types of matter of wickedness. So we got to really start looking at this thing with a spiritual eye. What is at your dinner table? And I ain't talking about in your kitchen. What's at your dinner table every day? And do you need to be throwing that stuff away? You need to be going back to the spiritual grocery store to get you some more food. And that's what we need to start looking at. Because at the end of the day, spiritual things come first anyway. Right? All right, from there, let's go to Matthew. Matthew 5. Let's go and get to the good side of it. Matthew 5, 1 through 6. It's crazy. It lets you know though that we think we be doing good when we be keeping that letter of the law. You know, you following the letter off to the T, but like intentions be off as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we think that's gonna make a difference. Everything that you're doing, all the work you putting in vain at this point. In vain. You know what I'm saying? We have two diets. You got a diet for your physical body, and you have a diet for your spiritual body.
Yes, sir.
And both of them got to be followed. Both of them got to be balanced out. Matthew 5. Matthew 5.
I sure would.
I know.
Say, boy, you
know.
you
Here
know.
you go. Here you go.
Right.
The letter of linguistics.
Yeah. The orator.
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 1, everybody there?
Yeah, we all good.
It's a blessing and a curse, man.
Yeah.
And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
See that? Come on.
Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness.
Hold on. Hunger and thirst after what?
After righteousness.
See that? He said, bless those that hunger and thirst after righteousness. So what should your diet plan be? Righteousness. It's not talking about no food at all. It's talking about the spiritual fruit that we need to be eating from every day. And the thing about spiritual food is you can go forever on it.
That's right.
Forever on it. You look up, you be on a fast for 6 days. You're like, hey, I'm kind of cool. All I need to do is think about positive things, think about the commandments of God, think about the kingdom to come. You look up, you got conversations going on about your house shop.
That's right.
It be 4 days in, you ain't ate or drink nothing, and you good, and you belching. Huh? That's that spiritual diet I'm talking about. And look, the thing is, when you on this spiritual diet and you fasting, you don't, like, your mind is not in subjection to other things because you too busy worried about not eating. See what I'm saying? This is the mind frame that we supposed to be in.
Also, if you ever experience this, you could be starving and you run into somebody and put in some work. Once you're done putting in some work, you walk away like, I ain't hungry no more.
Yeah.
I'm now fulfilled.
Forgot
The hunger pains are gone, and now my whole spirit is filled, and I'm renewed and rejuvenated because I done just ate spiritually.
Right?
As well. I done fed spiritually, ate spiritually myself, and now I'm straight. I'm rejuvenated because I done just put in that work.
Man, Elder just did that. We just our last lesson we was fasting and taught and didn't feel, you know what I'm saying? Walked in, stomach to my back. As soon as I got done teaching though, all right, let me get up out of here. It works. It fills you up. And this is the diet plan that we all need to be on. And when you on this diet plan, it makes to what you eat physically, you'll start watching that too, because you start looking at everything like it's spiritual. Everything like it's spiritual. Right. Everything. And that's what we're supposed to be looking at. We're supposed to be looking at this stuff with a third eye. Our eye supposed to be open, examining everything. Will this help me out? Will this further me to the kingdom? Will this keep my body alive long enough to teach this word? Everything's supposed to be for the kingdom. That's the ultimate goal. That's the game right there, the kingdom. And if it ain't for that, they ain't adding to that, then why are you eating? Physically or spiritually? You see what I'm saying?
6 again. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled.
Well, so they shall be filled. All right, let's get another one. Revelations. What was it, Revelations 4 you had, Ken? Then you mentioned Revelations 4.
Proverbs 4.
Proverbs 4.
Proverbs 4, 17 to 22.
All right, then we got Revelations 2 and 7. Proverbs 17.
Proverbs 4, 17.
4, 17 to 22. Let's get to Proverbs 4 first. Proverbs 4, 17 to 22. Because I want to leave it off with this chapter, this John, the 6th chapter. Then we get up out of here. That's a pretty lengthy chapter. Are we in Proverbs 17, family?
Proverbs 4.
Proverbs 4, verse 17.
Reading in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, starting at verse 17. And it reads, for they eat the bread of wickedness.
What?
They eat the bread of wickedness.
What is wicked bread? Wonders bread? That's wicked bread, y'all? The white side, right. What is the booty side of the bread? That's the wicked bread?
The bread of wickedness.
The bread of wickedness, boy. Look, this Bible is talking about nothing but a diet.
That's right.
Nothing but a diet. Come on.
And drink the wine of violence.
Drink the wine of violence. Now the wine is spiritual too. But you see, these spiritual things manifest physically. Come on.
But the path of the just is as the shining light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. My son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh.
You see that? So keeping the commandments is health to thy flesh, meaning you are actually being physically nourished by keeping the commandments of God. Now, if that ain't no good diet, I don't know what to tell you. And look, again, it's not talking about food. No food that you stick down your throat.
That's right.
It's let you know how spiritual how spiritual we are, but how much we don't understand how spiritual we are. We have fallen, man. We fall in a sunken place. It's crazy, man. Read that again.
Verse 22. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
That's a good one. All right, Revelation 2 and 7, and we're gonna read this John 6. And I got that Isaiah 55.
Yeah, hit that one.
Yeah, let's hit that too. Revelation 2 and 7 and Isaiah 55. Y'all both can pull it one through 8.
Revelation 2 and
7 and Isaiah 55, 1 through 8. We got it. Now Jacob on her clown.
You know he on that clown. Reading in the book of Revelation, chapter 2, we'll start at about verse 7.
Let's get it done.
And it reads, He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life.
There I go again, eating of the tree of life. Same thing that happened in the garden. If y'all reading the lost books, remember Adam had got when he was getting kicked out, he wanted to go back in. He just wanted to take a hold of it one time. And the Most High was like, no, you already messed up the diet plan. Now you're gonna have to be out there eating from the earth. And then if you endure that, then you can take hold of the tree of life. But we see the end game. The whole end game here is to take from that tree, to eat of that fruit. And we see that fruit, it bears a 12 manner of fruit each month. That's what we're trying to get to. So we have to spiritually feast and spiritually eat the correct diet until we get there. And then that fruit is forever. One orange and apple will last you thousands and thousands of years. That's what I'm trying to get to. Come on.
Which is in the midst of the paradise of Yah.
Now, don't just go back to Genesis, because there was 2 trees in the midst of the garden, right? The tree of life and the tree of knowledge, good and evil. So we see what the Most High is trying to restore, well, what he's going to restore here.
That's right.
He's restoring the garden. This time, it ain't going to be no option for no bad diet, though.
That's right.
So if we know the kingdom to come is not going to have a bad diet at all, then why are we sticking to a spiritually bad diet right now?
Crazy.
You don't get the kingdom that way. It's going to be spiritual death, and that's the second death, which is the lake of fire. And you're going to be part of the wormwood and the worm food. Who want to be a part of that? So why are we ingesting and digesting wickedness then? Makes no sense. It's crazy how we treat our bodies with so much health, but our minds be jacked up. We working out, ain't eating meat, on protein shakes, this and that, but it's all matter of wickedness going on in these brains of ours. You don't think that's going to affect you in the long run? Because look, ain't nobody living to be 120 now. You got to die. What you going to do after that? After that physical, look, you can eat healthy all your life and get hit by a car. Then what? The most High going to be checking that spiritual diet. He's going to be like, well, nigga, you was eating lust, adultery, what else?
Yeah.
Stealing. Well, you been eating all, your body ain't fit. Your spiritual body ain't physically made to go and come up in this kingdom.
Right.
You ain't make the cut.
But your triceps fine.
Right. Body looking like Jack LaLanne, mind like Jerry Lewis.
Right. Yes, sir.
Straight up.
Verse 8. And unto the angel of the church in Smyrna write, these things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
We can stop there right there. All right, let's get this Isaiah 55.
Can I read this quick before we get there and I get that out there? This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 20, and it's just letting us know, like bro is saying, we got dying flesh, y'all.
Yeah.
And we have to eat correctly mentally first, and then physically to maintain this dying flesh. Because ain't nothing we can do to stop. You can get all the plastic surgery you want, but it ain't changing your birth certificate.
It sure ain't.
Unless they go inside you and replace all those internal organs, you are just trying to maintain.
Yep.
Just like an engine, if it throw a rod or something, ain't nothing you can do but put something in it to maintain it.
Yeah.
But eventually that motor gonna have to be overhauled.
You got to.
You can put Rizlone in there to stop the tapping, but still once or twice a week you add on.
That's right.
So in like manner, this flesh, you have to continue add what's going to slow deterioration of this motor down. And that's good thought processes, because it start up here, what you going to put in here.
That's right.
But if this is wicked, then what that belly get is going to be wickedness. Then you're going to be bent over. Then you're going to need something to help you with the acid reflux that you're gonna get from that bad diet.
Yeah, when you go to the bathroom, it's gonna be stinking
Oh,
to heaven. The Most High
look.
gonna be smelling all that wickedness.
Boy, and everybody else will too. You come out and see homicide tape put up in right around there. They're like somebody dead in here. Don't go with it. This Second Ezra chapter 3, I'm sorry, verse 20. And this is just letting us know what caused us a problem with the fruit that we ate. The diet that we ate was bad.
Yeah.
Second Ezra chapter 3 verse 20, I'm sorry. Chapter 3 verse 20. Second Ezra in the Apocrypha.
Chapter 3.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 3, verse 20.
Verse 20. And I'm just going to read through 22. That's just to get some understanding of this dying flesh that we have, y'all, because you have to understand eating a bad diet will deteriorate this flesh super fast.
Yes, it will.
It'll be gone in no time at all.
Now think about a bad spiritual diet.
Yeah.
Man.
If you, the last 10 rest in peace shirts you done had on is for a teenager, that's a problem.
Yeah, bad diet. Yeah. So look, I know the lesson seemed kind of quiet and super relaxing, ain't what I'm used to, but we need to start talking about stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? And slow down and really digest what we teaching on. Because this is how important the diet is. This is why we in the position we in now, is because a bad spiritual diet. All y'all gotta do is start from the beginning of the Bible and read it through. Like, man, it's all bad spiritual eating habits going on. And all of that commandment breaking equals death, 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 and death. And like Dan said, you look up, you got 10 teenagers. Every week you got on a different RP shirt.
Teenager.
Huh? Crazy. Come on.
Second Ezra chapter 3 verse 20. And yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law may bring forth fruit in them. For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed and was overcome. So be all they that are born of him. Thus infirmity was made permanent, and the law also in the heart of the people with malignity of the root, so that the good departed away and the evil still abode. So the only point I wanted to hit on that was the wicked heart, that he left the law with us so it's without excuse, so we could eat good fruit. But he's saying 22, thus the infirmity was made permanent. So people look at malignity at the root. See, when we talking about the root now, you're talking about the Father.
Right.
And when you look at hatred of the law, you're looking at it towards the Father.
Right.
So when you look at it with malignity, like, damn, what is this? I can't do nothing. No, when you look at the law like that, it's going to be a problem. And that's the doctrines that's teaching today. The law is done away with it. They're looking at the law with malignity. And that's hatred and spite. And I can't stand it. Why do you bring that up that saves my soul?
It's grievous.
Why do you bring that up? So that's all I wanted to hit on. And that's been coming from Adam. But y'all, we got the good diet, and it's called the law.
That's it.
If you eat that, you shall live.
Yeah.
You're going to live twice. You're going to live on this side and on the other side.
Yeah.
But if you eat that other diet, plan on dying quickly. Yeah. And watch how quick this flesh destroy on a bad diet.
Straight up. Look,
people can see it coming that it's a bad diet. They can look at your skin, look at your face, and smell your breath. Oh, it's a bad diet.
Yeah. You said I was back, huh? Somebody walk. Look, you peep somebody died spiritually before they come up on you. Let it be dark and you walking and somebody come up out the alley with all black on, a hoodie on, with their hands in their hands in their pocket. You know off back that nigga ain't eating good at all.
Right.
What you going? You getting away from that? You getting away from that, right? So why we don't do the same thing with the spiritual diet when it comes to sin?
Right.
It look like sin, it sound like sin, it's talking like sin. Oh, I don't want no parts of it. We don't do it in that aspect though. And look, I don't care how the doctor said he died, ain't touching the 10 commandments. Regardless, you cannot eat no acid foods and all of that and have a mucilus diet and be off the meat and just all on greens and fruits. If you sinning, you just as dead as the gluttony boy that's eating chicken every single day.
That's right.
Church every Sunday.
You see what I'm saying? Come on.
Isaiah chapter 55, verse 1. Very good, bro.
Y'all there? How we all doing?
Isaiah chapter 55, verse 1. Oh, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters. And he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yes, come and buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfies not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
You see that? So is your soul living forever off of physical wine, physical milk, physical bread, or is this talking something symbolic here? It's talking about a spiritual diet, and it's the commandments. That's the best road to eat. It's bittersweet sometimes, but hey, it'll get you eternal life. I choose that over some chicken and some rice, even my vegan diet. I choose it over that any day. What we ingesting and digesting, conversations. What matter of conversations you should be in this time? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really start reading through this Bible, it's all talking about mindset first. Of course, we got to sustain this flesh.
Yeah.
But it's all talking about that mindset, y'all. And that's the very thing that went wrong in the garden, a bad diet. He told him, he gave him a commandment. Y'all is not supposed to be taking counsel from Satan, wicked ass. And the day you do, you gonna die.
That's right.
They went and ran to the tree and ate of it. And because of that, we all die. It's plain and simple. It's flat out right there. It's flat out right there. And then you see he's bringing us right back into that. He's bringing us back into the Garden of Eden. He's just taking out the bad diet. Satan won't be nowhere to even tempt nobody after this.
Right.
He's gonna be in the lake of fire. So we see that it's gonna be a good diet in the end. So you might as well be practicing for it, because if you don't, you ain't getting there.
And let me say this too, Yakim, before you go. So it all starts up here because we have a feast day that's mixing spiritual things with physical things, and it's called a Feast of Unleavened Bread.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, like you hear some people say, well, I ain't got to even eat nothing. I can take it all spiritual. No, you can't. Because some spirituals require a bread prepared spiritually that you can eat. It's physical though. Right. Because if you look at it all spiritual and all of it means spiritual, then how do you have unleavened law? And then what do you go back to? Leavened law?
Right.
For 7 days? So you can't have it like that. That's why you got to have a physical representation of it, because the law is not separated. There's not unleavened law and leavened law. Unless you're looking at it like Aaron and Melchizedek, then that's understood in that perspective. But we still go back to regular bread after 7 days. We can't go back to being a Pharisee or under the order of Aaron. You can't return to that. So certain times the spiritual is supreme, because it's letting you know, get the leaven and watch the bad doctrine, and then put that righteous bread in you, you know. But after that, go back. But that right there will train you
Straight up.
mentally and then physically how to eat from there on out.
Excellent.
Add unleavened bread to your diet is what it's saying.
That's excellent right there. Yeah, most definitely.
But that's a spiritual and a physical that must take place. You can't spiritual out the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
Okay.
Because you're going to have to reduce back the leavened law back to unleavened law. I mean, or the unleavened law back to leavened law. And how do you do that spiritually? What do you go back to unless you're going back to the priesthood of Aaron? So you still not a bad diet per se, but a diet that you're only eating to keep the flesh going, not to keep the spirit going, that has to live in the next world or the next life. That's what you're eating for, to make sure this body is in shape for supernatural.
Straight up.
Because that's what it's going to be. Whether you're left alive and reproducing in Israel, you're still going to be on a super preternatural state on this planet Earth, because you won't die no more.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's no way to die spiritually other than the lake of fire or the kingdom of Yah.
Yep.
One is life and one is death.
And your diet plan choose either or. And that's the crazy part. So we really got to start watching what we entertain in here. And we really need to start filtering out. If it's wickedness, I ain't eating. I'm not digesting that. You know what I'm saying? Like with that diet, we have to have so much self-control and discipline when it comes to our spiritual diet. It ain't no mess ups. It ain't like you going vegan and then you slip up and eat a piece of chicken. And you're like, you know what? Because the chicken is good according to the law of God. You know what I'm saying? He made it good. So you can be like, dang, you just made your own stuff up in your head. Dang, all right, I won't eat it again this week. I'm going to make sure I purge this chicken out on my fast. You can't do that when you constantly having a bad diet in the spirit. Because it leads to spiritual death, y'all. Like that is how serious commandment breaking is. You know what I'm saying? It deteriorates your spiritual body.
That's right.
It deteriorates your spiritual body, just like a bad eating habit in the physical deteriorates your physical body. You walking around with bumps all on your face.
Yeah.
You're sweating. You stink when you sweat. Your odor's bad. That's that. But imagine that on a spiritual level, y'all. The Most High ain't having it up in his kingdom. Ain't gonna be no stinking souls in the kingdom of Yah. You see that? So we have to check that diet. We got to check that diet.
Can I say that from what these two brothers just broke off, the understanding that I got from it is that, you know, we're all adults here and we've been eating physical food all our lives. So we know, like when we go out to a restaurant, you know what your favorite restaurant is, you know what your favorite meal is. You know what you don't like to eat. When we were children, we parents ate liver, we hated it. And you always, no matter what, you fought your parents about that nasty liver because you hated it. That's just as an example. But the fact is, the way we know today, we know what we like to eat. We don't go get what we don't like to eat that tastes nasty to us.
Right.
So we have to think about wickedness the same way.
Right.
You know somebody over there ain't doing right, and you don't go over there enjoying yourself to them. That's nasty food.
That's a whole pig right there. That's a whole pig. And you know how Hebrews is with that pork. Right. You be damned to touch it. Just start looking at people like pigs. Like I'm not even gonna go, no, that's a pig over there. And he have a swine spirit on him. Right. You wouldn't even be involved in that.
An abomination.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like abominable behavior.
Yeah. So that means don't be hanging around. If you know you got a homeboy that takes pride into hitting other men's women, he's a pig. He's a look, and we say it. Like women call Negroes dogs. Yeah. They're dog. Or they prefer to their vaginas as cats. Like if you start looking at it, we always preferring something to animals and food, showing you that this spiritual diet is already connected inside of us. That's deep. I'm glad you said that.
Thank you, because I got that from y'all.
All right, come on. Let's keep it going. So we done with that. You got anything else, El?
No, I'm good.
Mally, you got anything else before we get into this John 6?
We do Proverbs 4 already?
Yeah, we did Proverbs 4. All right, we finna end it with this John 6, the 6th chapter. We're gonna end it with this.
We got Psalm 141, so closing prayer for those taking notes, write them down now.
All right, let's get this. With John 6, we're gonna start at 20. John 6 start at 20. We're gonna read it out, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Hopefully, y'all got some spiritual understanding on this topic, though, because it's very important.
Yes, sir. Amen. And all that.
All right, let's get it done. I don't know who is on.
It's on.
Okay. I'll read it. John chapter 6, verse 20. But he said unto them, it is I, be not afraid. Then they willingly received him into the ship, and immediately the ship was at the land whither they went. The day following, when the people which stood on the other side of the sea saw there was none other boat there, save one that whereunto his disciples were entered, that Jesus was not with his disciples into the boat.
Read that again, bro.
Yes, please. We started at 22.
Slow down.
The day following, when the people which stood on the other side of the sea saw that there was none other boat there, save that one whereunto his disciples were entered, and that Jesus went not with his disciples into the boat, but that his disciples were gone away alone.
Read slow for him, brother.
Yeah.
Howbeit, there came other boats from Tiberias nigh unto the place where they did eat bread.
Right.
And after that, the Lord had given thanks. Verse 24, when the people therefore saw that Jesus was not there, neither his disciples, they also took shipping and came to Capernaum seeking for Jesus. And when they had found him on the other side of the sea, they said unto him, Rabbi, when camest thou hither?
You see that, dog? They was searching for that spiritual food, searching for it. And remember, we read in other chapters where they was tearing rooftops off to get to this food. That's a good diet.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of those spots where the food's so good, you would drive an hour. You would drive an hour to get it. Drive an hour to get it. And this is that diet we talking about. Well, you would, man, I'm talking about, you can't, just like how they do with the Emo's Piece and the Rice House. People be in Texas like, hey, mail me some Rice House. You see what I'm saying? It's supposed to be like that with the Messiah.
That's right.
And we're keeping these commandments. And this is how they would with him. They looking for him, they're like, oh, he ain't on the ship. Where is he at? We need to eat. We need this spiritual food, because they knew wherever the Messiah had, he was breaking off Jews, giving spiritual meat, doing parables, filleting stuff. You a vegan, you a meat eater, however you want it. Here goes some manna bread for you, straight from the heaven. I got
That's
you.
right.
And that's the diet we supposed to be on, y'all. Come on.
Verse 26, Jesus answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled.
Come on.
Labor not for the meat which
You
perishes.
see that? Don't labor for the meat which perishes.
That's right.
Now this go right back to that Exodus 16, where he starts showing them how to work long to prepare the manna. Remember? So now we see what he was showing him. You're not laboring to eat physically. I'm showing you patience and endurance where you can eat at the end. And that end is the last what, y'all? Supper. This is the whole point of this lesson. This is why we preparing this spiritual diet and we stand on it, because when we get that last feast, it's gonna be something like we never ate before. And it's the feast that enters you into eternal life. Huh? Ain't that a good feast?
Yes, sir.
We're not eating and leaving, we eating and staying.
That's right.
I ain't never had no dinner like that. When I eat at dinner, I usually get kicked out. All right, brother, see you later.
And look, y'all think about the feast that he's saying. Our feasts are 7 days.
Yeah.
We have feasts that are 7 days long. And y'all think about that. So you have to be able to do that in moderation. You can't gorge out on day one and the other 6 days you have to be left out. They say he's still at home throwing up, he's sick.
Right.
That's going to be a problem. Then the feast day has become, just an event to you, somewhere to show up at.
Right.
And we don't want that to happen to us, because you see the word feast. He's just trying to get your mind focused on to how to eat what you don't see.
Exactly.
Because look at this, and what he's explaining, move on, we talked about the corruptible flesh. When you eat this, and he's saying eat what's life, because you can't maintain it. It said the flesh is going to die. You can't preserve it. If that's the case, you wouldn't have to throw flesh away out the freezer.
Exactly. Out the freezer. You sure right.
Freezer food stinks. Y'all think about where decay is at. It stinks in the freezer.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's bad.
Well,
Will you thaw it out and eat it?
no.
So you can't even preserve this life like you want to. There ain't no perfect way to do it, because it's not talking about this flesh living forever.
It's not. It can't live
It's
forever.
talking about that soul flesh living forever.
Yes.
This flesh has a shelf life.
Look,
Yeah.
he said it though.
Yeah, bro.
There's body celestial and there's body terrestrial.
Right.
Like, this is not going to be living. I don't care how healthy you is. We done seen it. We done seen healthy people look good, everything, and be dribbling a ball and drop dead from a heart attack.
Right.
Like, man, that brother was in good health.
So we
Just
thought.
didn't smoke, didn't drink. Right. So we thought. Who knows what that spiritual diet was that was on his mind?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So like, we need to stop. We be so caught up on this outward appearance stuff, man. That ain't doing nothing for you. You can look in the mirror 100 times a day, 100 times, and tell yourself you whoever you is. If you thinking wickedness, you have a bad diet and you are unhealthy.
Cause they sure come looking for your hard drive to see what you been
Yeah,
eating.
what you been eating on your
What you
way?
been eating?
What you been eating?
What? Child porn.
Oh, no. Huh? Not good old pastor. Huh?
What else you, what?
Yeah. They checking that diet. Notice we ain't talking about what's in your stomach.
30 times since the last hour you Googled big black.
Hey, Dave, what'd you say? So look, Pete, they not coming and opening up your stomach or putting an X-ray on your stomach. They coming and get your phone to see what you've been eating in your head.
That's right.
They checking that mind frame.
With a side order or what, Danny?
Look, and me and Mal talked about this, not to cut off, we'll just talk about what you put in there. Even if you ain't into that, you have to be careful, because I was telling them about autoerotic asphyxiation. Basically where men choke themselves out while handling themselves.
That's what Kung Fu did.
And I was telling Mal, I said, yeah, he said, I ain't looking that up.
I don't want to my phone.
They get my phone, they be like, what the hell is he into? I said, well, dude, all those open.
Hey, but look, the crazy. Hey, but look, y'all ain't even got to. Look, hey, I didn't check. I was.
I don't even want to know how to spell this.
I was texting one day and I typed in FU and all kinds of other stuff on the auto correction came up for me. I'm like, what the hell is that? So look, y'all gotta be careful with that Google. It will answer stuff for you.
Tree of good and evil.
It'll answer stuff for you. Yeah, most definitely. All about that diet.
And you say it's just better off to look up how so-and-so died.
That's right. Right. Go ahead, bro, say that again.
Yeah, it'd be better off to look up how this person died. But I'm not gonna Google autoerotic asphyxiation. That could be in my phone.
See, because it's that easy to get caught up in something called a whole trail of other things that come and say, while you eat, you may like to sample this.
Right. Now you
it's
got
a buffet. You know, how about sampling a little bestiality while you're at it?
Right.
And they got it right next to where you.
Hey, and that's what happened. I'm telling you.
And now you like you be at the Golden Corral. All that food, and you only get one plate, but your mind telling you you ain't getting your money's worth.
Yep.
So what do you do but gorge yourself?
Yep.
Or you see veterans there that done used the bathroom 3 or 4 times, been there since church, and it's getting late in the evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
All right, come on, let's finish this out.
Jesus answered them and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life.
So now you see what he was trying to teach them with
That's
the
right.
flesh pots. Y'all see that now? Is it lining up? That's why he made them do that with the manna bread, and that's why it took so long to prepare it. He was trying to show them the labor in spirit for spiritual food.
Right.
Come on.
Which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him hath God the Father sealed.
Come on.
Then said they unto him, what shall we do, that we might work with the works of God? Work the works of God. Jesus answered and said unto them, this is the work of God, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent.
Come on.
They said therefore unto him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What dost thou work? Our fathers did
Let me say this real quick. I trip off that. They asking Messiah for a sign or a miracle.
And he right there in front of them.
Right. Now, if you go back to the beginning of the chapter, he just fed you.
Right.
He just turned a few loaves and a few fish into enough to feed thousands.
Yeah.
And now you asking for a miracle. Like, well, show us a miracle or a sign.
Why are you picking your teeth?
it just show you how short our memories are.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And really, they just was around because you're feeding. So you gotta watch that too.
Yep.
Certain people will be your friend just because it's convenient for them.
Yep.
Right? They around just because you feeding them.
Right.
Y'all heard because y'all ate. Y'all didn't even hear concerning the miracle.
That's right.
Y'all heard because I fed y'all.
Right.
Well, what sign you got for us? Well, he just gave y'all a sign in the beginning of the chapter.
Yep.
You feel me? I just fed y'all.
That was quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, that quick, they like, look, we need a sign or miracle, something like that.
You call it, what have you done for me lately?
Right.
Yep. Come on.
31. Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat.
Come on.
Then Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven,
You see that? Moses ain't give you that bread from heaven. Come on.
but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven.
Come on.
For the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven, and giveth life unto the world.
Now we see the spiritual significance of the manna.
That's right.
That was all a foreshadowing of Christ coming down from heaven and spreading forth fruit. You see that? So everything in the Old Testament is a mirror, it's a foreshadow of everything in the New Testament. It's all a foreshadowing. Now we see the significance of the manna bread, and that's why if you look it up, it says like, what is it? What is this bread? Tastes like chicken if I think about chicken. Huh? It looked like a little grain of seed. It's white. What is this? Little golden nugget. You got to do all this stuff to prepare it. You actually got a label for it. But the end game, when you eat, you will fulfill.
Right.
That represents the Messiah. The Messiah, like, look, y'all missing it. Y'all worried about a physical diet, and I've been feeding y'all since the beginning of time. Come on.
Verse 34. Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life.
He what?
I am the bread of life.
So now we see what we eat when we on the spiritual diet, the good side of it. We
That's
eat
right.
Christ. He is the bread of life. Come on.
And he that believeth on me shall never, I missed one. And he that cometh to me shall never hunger.
That's right.
And he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you, that ye also have seen me, and believe not. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me. And him that cometh to me, I will in no wise cast out. For I am come down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me. For this is the Father's will which hath sent me. For all that
Start that over again.
that of all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day.
Yes, sir.
And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day.
Come on.
The Jews then murmured at him because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven.
You see that? So that they murmuring and they talking about him. He don't even know. He been reaching all the way back to Egypt. He like, look, all that was me. All that was me the whole time. This whole diet, the whole time been me.
That's right.
Come on.
Verse 42. And they said, is not this Yeshua, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know?
You see that? They're like, man, you physical, man. They thinking about physical. They
That's
getting
right.
stuck on that physical diet. Not even peeping the spiritual fruits that he just dropped. He dropping spiritual nuggets, and they missing it because they stomachs rumbling. They hungry.
That's
they worried
right.
about fulfilling flesh. They ain't worried about fulfilling these commandments. They following him because the food he was making. They ain't even tripping off the miracle on how he made the food.
That's right.
You see that? Do y'all realize it took him a whole miracle to even make the food that they was following him to eat? They ain't even peeping it. Come on.
How is it then that he said, I came down from heaven?
So this lets you know when you eating at a wrong diet, it makes you insane and crazy too.
Right.
Huh? You can't even think straight. You can't think straight eating hot fries all day. That's all you consist of in your diet is hot fries and Pepsi. You ain't thinking straight all day. Your mindset is not where it's supposed to be. You're fueling your body off hot fries and Pepsi. Huh? Sodium and sugar.
Lord, all your worries.
Huh?
Boy, I say.
Come on.
Verse 43. Yeshua therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not among yourselves. No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him.
Come on.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
Come on.
It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of Yah. Every man therefore that hath heard and hath learned of the Father cometh unto me. Not that any man hath seen the Father, save he which is of Yah. He hath seen the Father.
Come on.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life.
Come on.
I am that bread of life.
See that? He is that diet that we need. Come
That's
on.
right.
Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead.
See that? Oh, so look, when man been steady pushing, you can eat all that all you want. You still gotta die.
Joe do.
Huh? Messiah, like, look, here I still am. I was in the beginning, I'm in the middle, and I'm at the end. I'm always and forever will be. Huh? So, what y'all talking about? Y'all keep bringing up Moses and the manna bread. Well, Moses dead, and that bread ain't here no more.
Oh.
Now what? What we got to talk about now? Come on.
Verse 50. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die.
Ooh, come on.
I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world.
Come on.
The Jews therefore strove among themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat?
See that? Oh, he's talking about eating flesh.
Flew right over the head, didn't it?
Because they on the wrong diet. When you on
Yeah.
the wrong diet, hey, you can't understand certain things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And look, that lets you know though. That's why he's telling people, look, this gonna be milk for you. This meat. He wasn't actually talking about milk and meat. He was talking about, look, you got the mind of a babe right now. I can't give you this spiritual meat. Even in that aspect, he wasn't talking about food, but he was relating it to food for we can what? Understand.
That's right.
But it was all talking about a spiritual diet here. Come on.
Verse 53. Then Yeshua said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, except ye eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, ye have no life in you. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed.
Come on.
He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him. As the living Father hath sent me, and I live by the Father, so he that eateth me, even he shall live by me.
Let's get the last one right.
This is that bread which came down from heaven, not as your fathers did eat manna, and are dead. He that eateth of this bread shall live forever.
So you see what he taught him. At this particular chapter, he taught him what the diet was. And that was commandment keeping in him. He like, look, I'm the diet y'all supposed to be looking for. Not the lust, not the flesh pots, not the stuff that just sustain your body. But he like, look, that body gotta die. He like, y'all don't believe me? Where the manna bread at? Where are your forefathers that was eating it at? They are nowhere around because flesh have to die.
That's
if
right.
you eat a meat, if you partake in this diet, you will live forever. Huh? And that diet is talking about the fruits of the spirit and keeping the commandments. So again, this whole lesson was just for we got to watch our mindset and watch what we eating out here and watch the stuff that we entertaining. If it's wicked, cut it off. That's not supposed to be on your plate. If it's wicked, it ain't supposed to be in your plate spiritually and physically.
That's right.
Y'all, just so everybody get that right. Y'all got anything else before we get up out of here and we close out?
Yeah, you keep reading, you're gonna see a whole bunch of folk get offended.
Yeah.
That's around and they don't get angry and mad because what he's saying went right over their head. You feel me? A lot of his disciples fell off after that.
Yeah.
Messiah had over 80 disciples at first. Over 70 dropped off after he just gave his discourse right here and left him with 12. 12 chosen ones, you feel me? So if y'all read that verse 63 in there, it say, the words I speak are spiritual.
Yeah.
So you'll run into somebody who don't believe in Messiah and say, well, he promotes drinking blood. He promotes cannibalism. Let's go to John 6.
Right.
You feel me? We know a brother that fell out the truth because of that, right?
That's right.
He talking about drinking blood.
Whole time he ain't even talking
You
about.
feel me? But as you keep reading, he let you know the words I'm speaking are spiritual.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I'm not talking about physical blood drinking. I'm not talking about becoming a cannibal.
Right.
You feel me? It's a belief or an ideal. Even if he was here and it was a physical thing, right? Like he not here you 2,000 years later. So how would you eat him if he was talking cannibalism?
Exactly.
Right.
How would you drink his blood if he was really talking about drinking blood? That means this don't apply to you. If it was a physical cannibalism he's promoting and physical blood drinking. But if it's a belief that he's the son of the living God,
And that right there is diet enough right there.
That's a
the
spiritual
eternal
diet.
Right.
That's the diet.
You feel me? So never let nobody take you to one verse right there. Read on down in that chapter. He gonna clear himself up.
That's right.
And let it be known. What I'm saying is the words I'm saying are spiritual. Like 70 of his disciples fell off after that. This what he just said right here. It was too hard to swallow. They were like, man, I can't accept it.
What he say?
And this after they got spiritual power from him.
Yeah.
They didn't got spiritual power and was casting out diseases. And then he rapped with them like, look, I am the bread of life. You got to eat my flesh and drink my blood.
That's
like,
right.
Man, I can't handle that no more. I'm out of it. And it was 12 left. And he's like, what y'all gonna do? Y'all leaving too?
Right.
They're like, man, you got the words of life. We ain't going nowhere.
Let you know,
Keys
though,
to the king.
his
But
diet-
70 disciples who had power from God fell off right after they heard him say, you got to eat my flesh and drink my blood.
His diet ain't for everybody.
Because if you're going, you're going to think cannibalism and you're
That's
going
right.
to think blood drinking.
Yeah.
Instead of believing that he's the only begotten son of the Most High.
Right.
We follow him to please the Heavenly Father. He's the image of God. Remember
No.
in the beginning, God made man in his image.
Ain't none of his titles call him vampire.
Yeah.
And what you just
This
said,
wrong diet,
said
man.
that
This diet ain't for
he
everybody.
didn't- the
This diet is
ones
not
that
for
ran
everybody.
off and the 12 that stayed, he didn't say to them, beg them to stay.
Nah.
Y'all running too.
Y'all gonna leave too?
Yeah, y'all leave too.
We ain't going nowhere.
And y'all think about this, when we're talking about feast days, we have a feast day that you don't eat. Called the Day of Atonement.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's in the listing.
Yeah.
That's a day you don't eat.
Spiritual.
And look, you got feast days that last for 7 days, and he give you one feast day that's 24 hours, and you like this.
Right. One day.
Call. Dog, how you hanging? 30 minutes to go.
Right. I'm gonna go to bed early.
We know
Sleep away.
Go to bed early, like you say, to try to sleep away from home.
we know y'all ain't been practicing fasting for
Going
what?
to bed at sundown.
Just rocking, looking at your watch, just rock.
Hey, so look, before we get up out of here though,
It's a feast day. How you home?
man, look, it's that diet, man.
It's one day to eat spiritually for 24 hours. He's trained. He give you the short end. How you gonna say God, Most High's judgments are unequal when He gave you 7 days
To feast.
where you can get busy,
Right.
drinking and eating? But just give me 24 hours. Just give me a tenth of those days.
Right. He shall give you 7 days of flesh pots and just 1 day is just eating from him, period.
And you can't.
And you can't even do it.
Hey,
That's crazy. But
how you hanging, dog? You like he did 960 hours,
right.
and you at
10:30
10:30
for 24.
Y'all see how the Bible straight talking about a diet though? It's
Yep.
all based on a diet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So do we got some understanding though before we close out? Anybody got any questions about the lesson or anything? We all good?
I say amen to you, brother.
Great lesson.
You good? You good?
Yeah, good.
I was good.
Yeah, we got garden duty in the morning, starting at 10. We need as much help as we can get. We are, needing to move a few things around, preparing for the expansion next week. We got to take the fence down, move some tires,
Mm-hmm.
relocate them. Anybody that have the 12 tribe papers, can you guys kind of wrap that project up and get those out as well?
What that's it?
We had the beautification project where they took
Each
stone
bed.
pavers and painted of the 12 tribes on the beds.
For each bed, each bed.
So if you still have your pavers, then you kind of wrap that project up and get those out.
All hands on deck, huh?
All hands-
Yeah.
All hands on deck,
Yeah,
man.
good day to
Go on
y'all.
tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Get it
Right,
done.
and look, y'all, that's the garden that you can eat fruit from. I mean, we had some good harvests, y'all, but if you truly want to understand that, if you ain't showing up to see what you done produced, you know, come on out and just take a look. But we can always use some hands, but you know, if we say feast right after the work, oh, we get a flood of people.
Oh, and the sisters that took the starters and the seedlings, if you could kind of chime into the email, let us know how the starters are going, so we'll know which beds, soils to get ready for them. And next Sunday is the installation date. We need all hands on deck at 9.
All hands on deck at 8 o'clock next Sunday.
The garden is located on Goodfellow between Roosevelt and Terry. on Goodfellow between Roosevelt and Terry, y'all. So if y'all ain't doing nothing, you know, sitting there scratching, get on up, going out there and scratching some dirt.
9 tomorrow, 8 next Sunday.
All right, let's get it done.
All right, pray out. We're going to pray out Psalm 141. Closing prayer. All praises to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
All praise.
Honor and glory is only begotten beloved Son, long live the King.
Long live the King.
Psalm 141. Psalm of David. Most High Yah, I cry unto thee. Make haste unto me. Give ear unto my voice when I cry unto thee. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Set a watch, O Yah, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. Incline not my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity. And let me not eat of their dainties. Let the righteous smite me, it shall be a kindness. And let him reprove me, it shall be an excellent oil, which shall not break my head. For yet my prayer also shall be in their calamities. When their judges are overthrown in stony places, they shall hear my words, for they are sweet. Our bones are scattered at the grave's mouth, as when one cutteth and cleaveth wood upon the earth. But mine eyes are unto thee, O God. In thee is my trust. Leave not my soul destitute. Keep me from the snare which they have laid for me, and the grins of the workers of iniquity. Let the wicked fall. Let the wicked fall into their own nets. Whilst that I wither, escape.
Hallelujah. Say la.
Yahoo!